Shamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Marty for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar 4 here once again, and we're here to review this latest episode of Scandala. And so this episode, it was good. It was better than last week in my opinion, but it was a little all over the place, and I was kind of thinking like, wait, what's going on here? Like there was a part where it really just felt awkward. But we'll talk about that anyway. But the episode starts off with this whole story. Ooh, excuse me. This whole story about a local news story about how this woman's husband fell off a cliff. Okay, and the story is they're making it seem as though he was pushed by his wife. Okay, that's what people are starting to call. That's what the headline was like, "Killer Cliff Bride." So that's like the story that's going on. The people, you start seeing Abby watching it, and then in the corner we see Millie. She starts watching it, asking questions, eating an apple and shit. And all of a sudden, she just shows all this interest in this story. So we're like, okay. So we move on to Olivia. Olivia just so happens to stop by and see her father, which in all of itself is strange. And even Papa Pope knew that shit was strange because he was just like, so you just stopped by to see me. Nobody's following you. You're not being forced to come here. Because, Liv don't really fuck with her dad for real. Like those Sunday dinners that they used to do and shit, she was never really completely here with it. So for her to just stop by, Papa Pope wasn't with that, and he pretty much laid it down like, you were gone, and now everything is not the same how it used to be. You're trying to return, and you're just trying to look for some familiar faces. You may not even fuck with me or even like me like that for real, but you just wanted to come and see me because I was a familiar face. And that's pretty much what it was. And so as she leaves her father's house, she gets a call from Abby, and Abby's trying to tell her about, an old friend of theirs that was named Catherine, who was trying to get in touch with her. And, Abby's trying to give her the details, and Olivia was like, I'll handle it. But Abby was like, well, da-da-da-da. She was like, you know what? If she's looking for me, I'll handle it. Let's not interfere with each other's jobs. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this whole friction between Abby and Liv. It seems, I don't like it because I feel like they shouldn't be like this. It really shouldn't be like this. So, but it is what it is. This is how friends work shit out. I hope they don't grow any further apart than they already are. I should say it like that. So here's the whole case of this particular episode. Catherine, her 17-year-old daughter is missing, right? Okay, and she's trying to find where she is. She says that, this isn't the first time that this has happened. The daughter is, has run away before, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. One little detail I forgot to mention was that while Olivia was at her father's house, even though she was like, she didn't really want to come in, she just wanted to stop by, he was like, okay, since Jake is still in your life, and because you like Jake, I'm going to try to learn to like Jake, and so I want you to invite him to dinner tomorrow. And Olivia invites Jake to dinner tomorrow, and Jake was pretty much like, hell to the motherfucking no. Your father is coming, and you want me to just sit down and cordially have dinner with his ass? I ain't with it. And so that's that part. I had to throw that in there. So now they pretty much pinpoint where the girl is based off of social media, her parents, and just, general information that they can find online. And they just nailed her down to this hotel. When Jake answered the phone to answer Olivia's question about dinner, he saw Charlie, the old B613/Quinn's ex-boo thing at some underway alley or some shit. Was it a parking garage or who knows what? It looked random to have whatever it was, didn't look like it's supposed to have had a vending machine in it. And apparently Charlie was trying to get something out the machine. Jake comes over, slams his head in the machine, and slams him down onto the ground. Okay, and when he wakes back up, they're in some cave underground fucking dungeon. I don't know, wherever that scene was supposed to be, and he's trying to get some information out of Charlie. And so, Charlie says, you know what? You don't even have to torture me. You don't even got to do all that. You just give me one thing and I'll tell you everything. And we pretty much already knew what his one thing was. Like, there's only one thing that really Charlie's ever sought after, and that was Quinn. So Jake calls Quinn to come meet Charlie. And Quinn initially thinks, okay, I'm just going to be in here for like what? A good hour, maybe two. And this bitch is ended up saying all night. She was like, what the fuck? I ain't gonna stay this bitch all night, and slammed the door, and now she's stuck. So she's just like, well, damn. And of course, he, tries to play it off like he didn't really want her back. And she pretty much was like, I know you want me. I know you want this, that, and the fourth. Quinn gets a little excited and crazy when she starts talking about when she thinks she knows something, right? And so she was like, I know you want me, you just don't want to admit it. You think I'm just going to run in here and take you back and just grovel onto your feet and blah, blah, blah. And I guess he got annoyed that she was right and tried to do a little combo hit on her, but she reversed that ass and slammed him down. He was like, well, shit. um, so next we move to Melly. Melly is like gathering all sorts of information and tea about this whole Killer Cliff Bride thing until it's become somewhat of an obsession. And she's calling Abby in to try to fly to Yosemite. I guess that's the name of this the city that it happened in, to try to talk to who was it? I forget who it was that she was trying to talk to. But, Abby was like, well, you want us to take a trip to Yosemite while your husband is in this whole gun control law type deal going on? You sure that's a good idea? She was like, oh, wait, you're right. We can fly him here. And I'm just like, why? I mean, is this a distraction? Like, are you really just diving into this to kind of distract yourself from your real issues? That's pretty much what it seems like, because I don't see the whole connection as to why this matters so much to you, but okay. Michael calls Cyrus and gets Cyrus's pussy wet. Wait a minute. Oh, let's see. Where am I? Oh, so this is the real tea. Huck calls Liv into the office and says, "I found a video." And starts showing the video, and you see the boyfriend of the girl who's missing, Caitlin, I think is her name. And Liv is like, I don't really want to see this. It's Caitlyn and her boyfriend having sex. I mean, what's really to see? And Huck was like, you may want to keep watching. So you keep watching, and turns out that it's the mama fucking her daughter's boyfriend. I'm like, you old nasty, dirty bitch. Oh, Coogan ass bitch. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I tell you, you can't trust, you can't even trust your own mama around your man. That's how bad it is in these streets these days. You can't trust nobody. Damn, girl. Anyway, we go back to Quinn and Charlie, and of course, eventually they start talking about loneliness, and they start making out, and had they been in there 5 more minutes, they would have been fucking. So, there's that. Where am I? Abby visits Liv, and this friction is there. So Abby tries to come. She knows that Liv has spoken to Catherine, has gotten some details about what happened with Catherine and her daughter being missing and blah, blah, blah. But Liv ain't going to give up the details. And Liv is trying to make like the case is so private between her and her client, this, that, and the fourth. And Abby's like, really? He's like, Libby kept saying, like, I can't tell anyone about the case. Like, really? And Abby's like, you can't tell me about the case. Really? Me? You can't tell me the details. We used to sit here and get all sorts of dirt on all sorts of people. And now you can't tell me about somebody that's a mutual friend of ours? Fuck you, bitch. And she left. That's pretty much how that conversation went. And after that, Liv goes to try to see Jake, and Jake is peeking through the little, like when you have that little lock thing that you slide over, and when you open the door, the little chain, and it can only open so far. And Jake is peeking in through the door like this and shit. And Liv is trying to see like, what are you doing? He says working. Liv is like, you don't have a job. You don't have any type of corporate job. Nothing. What could you be working? You don't have a job. What the fuck are you working on? And then she was like, "Do you have another woman in there?" Wait, don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. And I mean, automatically, I feel like it's the human mind. Even the mind like Olivia Pope's mind goes there. Like when you say that you're working and shit just sounds suspicious, and you looking at me through a motherfucking peephole, and you don't want to let me in. What you doing that you don't want me to see? So she was just like, you know what? I ain't even gonna worry about it. You're acting weird. If you're, what did she say? He was trying to ask her this like another booty call, and he was like, "We're not together. We're not dating because you're in love with another man, and so if you're not here for sex, then I have no reason to really fuck with you like that." I'm like, "Damn." So she's like, "We're done." I'm like, "Girl, no, you're not." I don't know. You don't never believe Olivia when she says she's done with a white man. She always come back. She always come back. Let's see, where we at? Do. So Rosen did this little presentation in front of this court and was trying to pretty much say how the gun control law that the president was trying to come or pass, I should say, is a modernized version of how the Constitution should be inside of the recent shootings and whatnot. And the main judge was like, "Oh, that was a very intelligent conversation. Thank you for bringing this information to us, but we ain't going with that shit." In long story short, taking out all the political term and jargon, we ain't with that shit. And so Rosen ends up going back to his, little room where all his secrets lie and pulls out the B613 files and was trying to get some tea on some of these judges to kind of help sway their decision. So he approaches the judge outside a building. It looked like it was part of the White House or like one of the Congress buildings or whatever, and was like, "So, yeah, I know that like back in 1992, you killed a woman and her 7-year-old daughter because you were drinking too much at a club or a bar and you ran from the scene. I don't think you want people to know about that. So if you don't want people to know about that, I'm gonna need you to vote for me for this gun control law, please and thank you." And he walks away. So the judge is just sitting there like, "How the fuck did you get that information? Don't worry about how I got all the information, bitch. Just know that I got it, and I need you. If you want to work, if you work with me, this can still go away. You don't even got to worry about this. But fuck with me, and I'll fuck you up." So yeah, Rosen laid down the law on that ass. So Huck starts discussing about the child and other possible suspects because the mom tries to say that she didn't do it and she just admitted to the tape, filming the tape with her daughter's boyfriend and shit. She tries to convince her she's not a murderer. So Liv was working with Huck to find out other suspects. Here comes Quinn. Quinn walks in and nobody really even acknowledges her existence. She was like, "Hello." They're like, what's up?" She was like, "So you mean to tell me that nobody noticed that I was gone for 24 hours?" They Liv and Huck looked at each other like, "Sure we did. We missed you, girl. What you mean?" I was like, "Damn." And then she went off. She was like, "You know what? I came in here and I held this little office here together. I visited you every day at your goddamn job to check up on you, and I found your ass from across the goddamn world, and that's because of shit like this, because y'all motherfuckers don't be paying the goddamn attention, and that's how Harrison died, because niggas don't want to pay the fucking attention," and she stormed off. I was like, "See, now, bitch, something, Quinn, you gonna get your ass whooped from talking so damn much, because I understand her frustration to a degree, because that would be kind of fucked up. People that's supposed to be there for you didn't even notice you were gone for 24 hours. Woo! Excuse me. Mm. But yes, that was kind of fucked up for her to say. So Melly has this meeting about the whole Cliff Bride thing, and her whole point was, okay, yes, the media tries to say that the wife pushed her husband, but we have sorry, the camera cut off. But yeah, we have charts and graphs that can prove that this shit couldn't have happened, because if the man slipped, then he would fall at this trajectory. If the man was pushed, he would fall at this trajectory, which should prove that the wife is innocent. And everybody was just looking around like, okay, well, the guy that they brought and they flew in was like, well, you know, you're right. You know, there were two eyewitnesses that says that he did indeed slip and he was not pushed. And she was like, great. And so we're just left looking at the meeting like, did we really need to call a meeting for this? Like, it just, the whole vibe in the room was just awkward. Like, what are we doing here? That's just what it felt like. It just felt like everybody was looking like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, do we really need to call an official White House meeting to discuss this that we could have figured out on our own? But it's something that Mellie wanted to do, and the president ordered Abby to give her whatever she wants. So yeah, uh, let's see, where are we at? I think we're towards the end at this point. Oh, so Jake calls Olivia back and says, "Okay, I'm going to agree to dinner." And we're trying to figure out, why did he decide to change his mind? And pretty much Jake found out the tea on how the president's son died, and I guess even though we didn't see it, I guess he has proof how he killed Harrison. And so we like, oh shit, well, we know what he's going to the dinner to do. Um, Huck tries to comfort Quinn, saying he would look for her the next time she goes missing, and then she gets all giggly and her pussy gets wet and stuff. She probably fucked him in the office later, just off camera. Uh, the judge who Rosen talked to about gun control and whatnot shot himself. The irony, I guess, because he was too afraid of that tea coming out. Uh, and yeah, so the last thing that we're going to talk about is really this whole dinner. Chat. So they all eating dinner. Everything is all, play nice and shit. And you could tell the tension is thick between Jake and and Daddy Poke, because Daddy's sitting there trying to engage everybody in conversation and whatnot, and Jake is just like, yeah, yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's that whole deal. And so Olivia gets a call from Huck, goes off to the next room, and I'm like, here we go. It's about to go down. So, skipping through all the shit, Daddy Poe tries to start off with say, I'm really appreciated that you're taking care of my daughter. It feels good to know that he's in good hands. Jake is just like, takes the napkin. Why'd you do it? And he's looking like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why'd you kill Harrison and why'd you kill the president's son? I was like, oh, okay, so we're getting straight to it. And and he was pretty much like, you know what, your days here in Washington are over. You need to go ahead and leave, or you want the fact that you're trying to get back into your daughter's life is so fucked up. And even though you killed her best friend and the president's son, do you know that struck a good nerve in Daddy Pocus? He pulled out the motherfucking butcher knife and got right in between Jake's fingers on the table. You know that little game where they try to spread your fingers and you got the knife and you try to do that shit? Bitch. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how that shit go unravel. I'm like, I know he killed the son. That much we know. But did he really kill Harrison? We gonna find out. Uh, Cyrus gets him some more dick. Or ass, whichever one Cyrus prefers. I don't really care to know because. And it looks like Michael, the little prostitute that Cyrus been fucking with, is working for that slick back lesbian looking chick that is so anti Cyrus because Cyrus is trying to help with the whole David Rosa thing. I'm not really understanding her whole uh, shtick against David Rosen just yet, but apparently the prostitute is working with her to bring down Cyrus because when she dropped off her daughter at school, Michael came up and said hook, line, and sinker. So I don't know if he told him some. I don't know if Cyrus spilled some tea to Michael or about something, or he's just getting him in his little web trap with his feelings. It's fucked up. Y'all know Cyrus is sitting here grieving over his husband and probably is all sorts of vulnerable. That's fucked up. But you know, people on this show, they seize opportunities, bitch. They seize opportunities. But that's pretty much the end of this episode, y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Jamar, Washington, Washington, Washington.